Madam President, I ask unanimous consent that the following remarks be printed in a separate part of the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. Madam President, from the moment that President Biden announced the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan in April, the people of the United States, after 2 decades of war, had hoped to mark the end of our presence in Afghanistan with a secure and orderly exit, and with our honor intact. As we know, what ensued proved to be the opposite. Hubris fueled the administration to proceed with a flawed exit plan from Afghanistan. They allowed a calendar to dictate our withdrawal rather than the conditions on the ground. Loss of life and humiliation have been the result, with our allies and our partners openly questioning the resolve and the competency of the United States. Those harrowing images of Afghan teenagers falling from the sky after clinging to a U.S. military plane as it took off from the Kabul airport, the utter chaos at the gates of the Kabul airport, and the loss of 13 U.S. service members, including Staff Sergeant Knaus, would compel any reasonable person to ask why events had to unfold in this manner. Against the operational failure in Afghanistan and this loss of credibility abroad, we're fortunate in knowing that the people of the United States still retain their unique spirit, that American desire to come to the aid of others in need. Those Americans stranded in Afghanistan, the former Afghan interpreters who stood with our military, Afghan women and children who worked with our aid organizations, these people needed our help. And our service members, our diplomats, our aid workers and journalists all deserve recognition and credit for their sacrifice as they attempted to help. I want to take this opportunity to highlight another group of Americans who rarely receive the public recognition that they deserve: the staff right here in the United States Senate. These staffers shun the spotlight and dedicate their craft to represent the interest of our constituents. When it became clear that the administration was failing in Afghanistan, congressional staffers from across Capitol Hill, from both parties in Washington and in state offices and district offices around the country, rose to the challenge. These staffers helped with a modern-day digital Dunkirk. They were united in the common cause of helping stranded Americans and Afghan allies. Many of them sprung to action instinctively and in an instant, almost as if they'd been on call, like a doctor or a firefighter, immediately ready to help mitigate the damage of this disaster. Some of those who did this work serve on my staff. Bobby Zarate, my national security advisor, spent countless hours engaging with counterparts in the State Department, communicating with active duty military and veterans, including some on the ground in Afghanistan, and of course, fielding requests from all corners to expedite cases of American citizens and allies in Afghanistan. Kevin Kim, a fellow in my office from the State Department, Rachel Leong, a legislative correspondent, and Bonnie Warren, a caseworker in my Cookeville office. They were all right there too, every step of the way. For their work on behalf of folks in need, I want to thank them for all that they do and all they continue to do. I imagine many of my colleagues here in the Senate have similar stories, their own Bobbies, their own Kevins and Rachels and Bonnies, helping those in need. And for the totality of their work, we, the members of the Senate, owe our staff a great thanks. Madam President, I'm honored to describe the role that my office played and is continuing to play in rescuing Americans from Afghanistan. But it didn't have to be this way. And I hope for the sake of our government and our country that it will never be this way again. Madam President, I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum. Thank you.